Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Reddit, I Don't Work Here Lady, where people get mistaken as employees when they clearly aren't. I've dug a little deeper for the stories today, going back about 4 years when this subreddit was a tiny baby. I hope you stay for these 4 stories today and subscribe for future videos. This one's titled, A Classic Wait for the Punchline. I actually witnessed this interaction yesterday while I was shopping at a local tech store, the one with the blue polo and tan khaki pants uniform style. Over in the next aisle was another customer, I'll call her customer number 1, wearing a white button-up shirt and dark khaki pants. Her clothes were not the standard store dress code, but she looked professional. I guess I can partly understand why customer number 2, who's soon to enter the story, assumed automatically that customer number 1 was a manager. Exchange proceeded as follows. Customer number 2, making a beeline for customer number 1, says, "Thank God! I've been looking for a manager for 15 minutes. I've been having a problem with my..." Customer number 1 interrupts and says, "Sorry, I don't work here. There should be a manager up front." Customer number 2, flustered and a bit annoyed, says, "I've been waiting to find you for 20 minutes. You're not gonna brush me off that easy." Now about this return policy that you have. This escalates through several rounds of conversation, with customer number 2 escalating her offense, disbelief, and general attitude of entitlement while getting really loud and confrontational. While customer number 1 escalates in parallel, finally using her best crowd control voice as she pulls out the badge and identifies herself as an off-duty police officer. Ha! She then tells customer number 2 that if she escalates this any further and causes more of a disturbance in the store full of customers, that she'd have to take action and place her under arrest. Then, customer number 2's face turns various shades of red. She looks like she's about to have a heart attack, apologizes, and quickly turns the other way, and I got to be a witness to this amusing event. This one's titled, I'm in the bathroom equals I work there. I was in the bathroom of a movie theater, and as I sat down, someone starts banging on the stall door. I yelled occupied, and then hear a voice say, "I know that, get out." I'm confused. So after I do my thing, I come out, and there's this big lady staring me down. She says, "Finally, you took your sweet time." I responded, "Yeah," looking around to see other stalls that aren't in use, and started assuming that this was her favorite stall or something. She then says, "Well, aren't you gonna clean this place up? It's disgusting." Note that the bathroom was actually clean, except for some stalls that had out of order signs on them. I looked confused and said, "No," walking over to the sink and washing my hands. She then says, "If you're gonna be working here, you need to be cleaning the bathrooms and not just sitting in the stalls." I continued to ignore her and dry my hands. She then says, "Hey, don't ignore me." I responded, "I don't work here. I've seen you here a couple of times, so don't lie to me. Just because I come here a lot does not mean that I work here." I then proceed to leave the bathroom and see that while I was in there, someone put a cleaning cart outside of it and put a sign down that said, "Bathroom closed for cleaning." I can see why she assumed that I was the one in there cleaning, but damn, why'd you have to be so rude to a real employee? This one's titled, Get Mistaken as an Employee, and I Turn into She-Hulk. One day after work, the boyfriend husband, to be referred to as BH, and I stop at our local wholesale seller. I like to go during the week since it's less crowded and noisy. I have PTSD and borderline personality disorder, so crowds and loud noises are hard for me to handle at times. The BH is not only my partner in life, but also acts as my emotional lifeline if I get triggered. Anyhoozles, we've been there for about 10 minutes when my bladder reminds me that having a large tea at about 3 p.m. might not have been the best idea, and we should probably find the restroom soon. I grab my cell phone, but leave my jacket and purse with BH, and head to the restroom. He walks me as far as he can, and then waits in the book section that's about 20 feet away from where I duck into the washrooms. I was wearing a red dress shirt that day, but never in my dreams did I ever expect to be mistaken as an employee who wears a red vest. I'm on my way back to BH, who I can see about 20 feet away, when a woman, now to be referred to as Stupid Lady, or SL, talks to me as I'm walking by her. The Stupid Lady says, "Do you know where some item is?" I replied, no, sorry," and I start along my merry way to BH. The Stupid Lady stands there dumbfounded and says, "Excuse me? Why don't you want to help me?" Trigger 1. Yelling at me. Yay. Heart rate goes up. Butterflies start in my stomach. I stop and turn back to her and just stare at her, thinking, what the heck? She walks up to me and practically snarls. She says, where do you think you're going? She's like less than a foot away from me, leaning forward, very combative and aggressive stance. Trigger 2. Invade my personal space. I can feel my face growing hot and red as I get angry, scared, and panicked. I said, excuse me? Why aren't you doing your job? Even if you're on break, you should be able to help me since I'm a customer. I then realized that she thinks I work there, and I should probably defuse the situation and get myself out of there. So, I do the stupidest thing I could have done and speak to her as I'm trying to get away from her and back to my boyfriend husband so I can calm down. I see him out of the corner of my eye as I start to turn that he's noticed me and coming towards me. I said, oh, sorry, I don't work. And then it happened. Trigger 3. Grabbing my arm and pulling on it. We have a winner, folks. She-Hulk is now engaged. Warning. Yes, she actually grabbed onto me and pulled me so I couldn't leave. And the world for me disappeared completely. I'm told that I froze for a moment, shrieked, pushed her away from me, and then lunged at her with my hands out. Fortunately, BH has the reflexes of a cheetah and managed to intercept me before I got a chance to rip her eyes, or quite possibly her throat out. He gets me onto the floor where I dissolve into tears. I've been crying. Now there's several employees and managers there, but also security. I flip out and dissolve into apologies and tears again. I hear the stupid lady shrieking at the manager for hiring unstable people to work in the store, and she wants to press charges and sue the store. The manager is trying to get a word in edgewise that I actually don't work there. Word of note about BH, he's a goofball, loves to joke and kid around. He's the king of dry wit and bad puns, and he's always smiling. The stupid lady says, I want her arrested and charged for assaulting me. Just wait until I speak to my lawyer. I'm gonna own your ass when I'm through with you. My boyfriend husband says, go ahead and call the police. It won't do you any good. The stupid lady turns to him and practically growls at him and says, you stay out of this. He responds, I won't. As I was saying, call the police. I want to press charges on behalf of my wife against this woman for assaulting her, pointing at the red marks on my arms where her nails scratched and dug in. She then said, I did no such thing. BH responds, you did. There are what, like 5-6 cameras pointed in this area? My wife tried to leave and this woman grabbed her and pulled her back so hard that she's left marks on her. My wife, who has PTSD, was triggered by that and tried to fight back. She had no control, and we have documentation from her doctors in regards to that if you need it. The stupid lady then says, well, this store shouldn't be employing people with mental issues where they can hurt normal people. She should be locked up. Listen, you stupid, ignorant bitch. If you'd get your head out of your ass for even a microsecond, you'd have realized that she does not work here and you've criminally assaulted another customer. The manager says, I tried to explain that to you. The stupid lady then dissolves into apologies and is trying to backpedal her stupid ass out of there before she gets herself into even more trouble, and backpedals into the police officers the store had called. To make an already long story a little bit shorter, we explained our side, she explained hers, and the manager showed the video, and stupid lady got a nice new pair of stainless steel bracelets. As for me, I got a trip to the emergency to help calm down, and some lovely anti-anxiety meds, and was a zombie for about a week, and then a nervous wreck for about 3 months after. Stupid lady made a deal, and got off on probation, and we got victims' compensation. Unfortunately, I couldn't go back into that store for over a year without anxiety medication. This one's titled, A Glimpse into the Mind of a Customer. So this was about a week ago. I wear a lot of polos since I work in a call center, and usually after work, I go to the local supermarket to pick up something for lunch or dinner. I've been mistaken for an employee multiple times, and it's usually not a problem, but on that day, a week ago, something magical happened. I was there looking at Shadow Milk, deciding if I wanted root beer, cotton candy, or just plain old chocolate. Shadow Milk is one of my favorite things, and as I'm standing there in indecision, I'm approached by a customer. The customer says, "Excuse me sir, but can you help me? I'm looking for..." And then he trails off, and then says, "Blue milk." I replied, "Oh yeah, it's cotton candy flavored. It's great." The customer looks suspicious about something, inspects the milk closer, then looks to me and says, "You like it? I bet it's filled with toxic chemicals. It's probably super harmful, especially for kids. Are you making assumptions based just off the color of the drink?" The customer stares at me for a moment, her look slowly turning into a glare, and then she says, "Where's your manager? I need to talk to them." I replied, "I don't work here." The customer's then confused, looking at my shirt for a lanyard or name tag or something. I then grabbed the blue and banana milk, assuming that my point is made. The customer then says, "So you're telling me you don't have a manager to report to?" I asked, "Who's your manager?" The customer responds, "I don't work here. What would make you think that?" Now you're getting it, and I put the milk in my cart and go about my day. Throughout the rest of the time I was there shopping, each time I saw her, she gave me the stink eye. Would have told this story sooner, but I just found this subreddit. I hope you like. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed these stories today. If you want to submit your own stories, my Discord server is in the link below. Also, if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future stories. See you guys in the next one.